Hey everyone, off the Mike Sports Network here, previewing NFL Conference Championship weekend, and let's do the NFC Championship game. The Washington Commanders taking on the Philadelphia Eagles, an all NFC East Championship game. Third matchup between these two teams. They split the first two. The Eagles won the first one in Philadelphia without Jalen Hurts. Kenny Pickett started that game, and then the Commanders won a thrilling game in Washington that probably cost the Eagles the one seed early this season. The Commanders had a bunch of turnovers and found a way to pull that game out. But here we are in Philadelphia. The Eagles are favored by 6 points. That's not a surprise. They had the better record during the season. They're hosting this game. I've been saying this on the channel. Look, it it feels like a lot of momentum is obviously behind the Eagles, considering that they're hosting this game. They've got a lot of experience on their side. A lot of these players that are on this roster went to the Super Bowl a couple years ago. Ironically, it could set up another Super Bowl rematch. It seems like Kansas City's just going to play all the same teams that they did before. They played the 49ers last year after they faced them a few years back. And then, I mean, the only other team that they would have to play if they get to the Super Bowl, and I will talk about the Chiefs later on in their matchup against the Bills, is, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And so, just a wild sequence of events that we could potentially get another Super Bowl rematch here, in the Super Bowl. But, so yeah, a lot of because Saquon Barkley and the Eagles, like it feels like there's been a lot of momentum behind this team. Their defense has been really outstanding. Jalen Carter is just a freaking monster at defensive line, at the defensive tackle position. Like their defense just causes a ton of problems. So that's going to be something to watch in this game. But the key thing in this whole thing is Jaden Daniels and how he does on the big stage, because every big stage that this kid has been on since going number 2 overall, he has just exceeded expectations. He goes to the number 1 seed in Detroit, puts up 45 points in that game. Granted, 7 of them were on a pick six, but still put up a ton of points in that game. And I have no reason to believe that the Commanders won't score in this game. Cliff Kingsbury has proven to mesh really well. I love Terry McLaurin as a wide receiver. He had one of his best seasons ever with 13 touchdowns. Commanders defense is going to be pressed because they haven't really done a great job of stopping anybody despite having a defensive head coach, but that's neither here nor there. The more I think about this, the to me, the smart people are probably all going to pick Philadelphia because on talent, they probably should win this game. But there is something about this Washington team. Since that Hail Mary against the Bears early on in the season, this has felt like, and I've said it here on the channel, this feels almost like a team of destiny. And when it comes down to it, I know at some point Nick Sirianni is going to screw over this team. I've been worried about this since the first couple weeks of the season, that head coaching is going to cost them. And basically, I said it here on the channel. A lot of Eagle fans, you've come at me. You know, you're entitled to your opinion. I don't agree with you, but if weather did not contribute to that game against the Rams, I don't think the Eagles are in this spot. Jalen Carter played really well and made some key plays to prevent the Rams from scoring another touchdown. And then obviously Saquon Barkley in the snow was unbelievable. Yeah, the Eagles probably have two of the best players. They have two of the best players in this game, but in my eyes, they don't have the best quarterback, and it's not even close. Like the gap between Jalen Hurts, remember where he was a couple years ago when they went to the Super Bowl? He's regressed so badly that I don't know. That's where I think this game is going to be won and lost. How badly does Jaden Daniels outplay Jalen Hurts? Because on paper, the Washington Commanders should have a huge edge in this. If Jalen Hurts does show up to his capabilities of what he was a couple years ago, the Eagles should win this game easily. But I've got concerns about that. I've got concerns about Nick Sirianni. And that all leads me to say the Washington Commanders are going to go to the Super Bowl. If you're an Eagles fan, You can poke holes in my logic, do whatever you want. There is something about this Commanders team, and especially when they have a significant advantage at quarterback. And I'll say this, a significant advantage at head coach. Yes, both these coaches have been to a Super Bowl, but let's be real. Who would you pick when you were stacking head coaches against each other? Nick Sirianni or Dan Quinn? I'm taking Dan Quinn all day, especially this Dan Quinn that doesn't give a shit. Like, the Dan Quinn with the Falcons was a defensive head coach and a first-time head coach. This Dan Quinn goes for everything, doesn't care, is fully invested in his rookie quarterback, and yeah, I mean, yeah, his defense is like, middle of the road, but they've got experienced playmakers. Bobby Wagner's been to a Super Bowl. Like, they're I think the Commanders are going to win this game. I think they're going to win this game. They've got the team of destiny vibe. They have beaten the Eagles. They almost beat the Eagles in Philadelphia earlier this year when Kenny Pickett was playing. And listen, I just don't trust Jalen Hurts, man. I don't. And I think that's going to play a huge role. Quarterback is the most important position, not just in football, in sports. And if you have an advantage at that, that's a huge deal. And I think Jaden Daniels is a significantly better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. And then obviously the next key thing is head coach, Dan Quinn over Nick Sirianni. So in the two most important, position battles, the Commanders beat the Eagles. So if it goes that way, I'm taking Washington to go to the Super Bowl. And holy crap, Jaden Daniels as a rookie quarterback going to the Super Bowl, that's unbelievable. So we will have more here on the channel on Conference Championship Week, and I'll have a in-depth preview of Mahomes and Allen, Chiefs and Bills, another championship game, another playoff matchup between these two heavyweights. Who do I think is going to face the Commanders in the Super Bowl? Stay tuned here on the channel. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.